What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and today I finally unlocked Taskmaster. I had really good luck up until the last cover, and as you can see I almost filled the bonus bar. I needed the 8th of the 8 comic covers, and that happened to be The Amazing Spider-Man, number 308. Now I'm really excited about this character for a few reasons. One, many of you may know that this is the character that I said should be a lockbox hero. So it's always nice to be right about a character. But another reason is because there's so many people who already have him, and they can't stop talking about him. I have to admit, I think it made me kind of jealous, but it did make me want to really get him as soon as possible. One of my favorite things about this character in-game is the fact that he's so versatile and has so many different movesets. I've been told of some teams and I've seen some, and I've also had a few in mind. But we'll get further into that when I level him up more. Right now, let's take a look at his comic cover collection. First, we have Avengers Volume 1, number 196. That's a pretty awesome cover, I have to admit. Next, we'll move on to cover number 2, and that's Cable and Deadpool Volume 1, number 36. Now that just might be my favorite out of these covers. For the third one, we have Taskmaster Volume 2, number 1. And then rounding out the top row, we have Taskmaster Volume 1, number 1. Moving on to the second row, our very first cover is going to be Secret Avengers Volume 2, number 2. That one's going to be followed by Avengers The Initiative, Volume 1, number 33. For the next to the last cover, we have another Avengers The Initiative, Volume 1, number 25. And then the last cover, the one it took me forever to get, The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1, number 308. So that's it for the comic cover collection. Let me know which ones you're missing, or if you have them all in the comment section below. Now let's go ahead and take a look at his storyline, and then I will use him in combat, but granted he will be only a level 1. Still, I'll show you one of the cool team-ups that I thought of, and I think it works quite well with Taskmaster, especially with his passive. By the way, he has 2 passive abilities. First, Photographic Reflexes. Taskmaster gains the power of the attacker's class when attacked. Moves change depending on current power. And he also has Tactical Insight. 50% chance to gain an extra turn when changing classes. This effect can only trigger once per round. Well, what does this mean? Well, pretty much you're going to want to get him attacked for this to kick in. That may not end up being a huge problem in PvP. But regardless, one of the team-ups that you can use is with Phoenix. Phoenix has Mind Link, which will make Taskmaster protect. That way you can make sure you trigger his passive abilities. And just to go over it, Mind Link is a quick action ability that will place a buff of the same name on an ally of your choosing. Then in turn they'll protect your team from single target attacks. If you place this buff on Taskmaster, you'll cause him to protect, and then he'll gain Photographic Reflexes. So it's not a bad little strategy. We'll take a look at that team in action right after this storyline wraps up. And we're coming to an end right now. Now I switched my agent's gear from his counterattack weapons. That way we can give Taskmaster a chance to attack. Oh, and it looks like we're going to get pretty lucky he gets the very first turn. So let's use his Trick Shot on the Infiltrator. Now this very first ability has a 50% chance to perform a follow-up attack. This effect can keep going multiple times, and you also place Pinpoint Target on your enemy before you even attack. So that's a pretty nice first ability. Oh, and it also places Bleeding, so you see we got 2 stacks, so that means we're at least going to fire one more time. So for our first attack we got 2 in a row, but that can keep going on. It can basically continue until the target's dead. And since we got hit with an AoE attack, we gained Photographic Reflexes and Tactical Insight. So we gained an extra turn, and now we have Blaster Power, and that changes our abilities. Instead of Trick Shot, we now have Sapping Shot. Sapping Shot causes Withered and Distraction, so reduces damage done by 10%, and then also the next single target attack has a 50% chance to miss. I believe because of Blaster Power, we also had Ignore Defense. Now with Phoenix, I'm using Mind Link, and that's going to cause Taskmaster to protect against single target attacks. Then we'll use telekinesis on the bottom Hydra agent. He was successfully stunned, so now with my agent, I'll use the Shepherd Staff, and then that'll give Taskmaster another turn. So in the next round we'll take 2 actions in a row. Basically I just want to get as many attacking possibilities as I can, even though sadly we only have 1 ability at our disposal. Well, at least it's sort of like 2 because we do still have our sapping shot. Taskmaster will fire that twice with his 2 turns, and then we'll move on to the next wave. Unfortunately, there are a ton of blasters in this battle, so that's pretty much the only power we're going to get. In order to see more variety of Taskmaster's attacks, I think we may have to do a boss battle. What I'll do in the meantime is work on leveling him, and then as soon as I have him at a higher level, I will definitely make more videos. At level 6, I'll probably try to show him again in PvE, and then at level 9, I'll definitely use him in PvP. Alright, so after this Psy Blast, we're down to our last enemy of the video. There you see Taskmaster protecting because of Mind Link, and he takes a pretty decent hit. Our agent had to skip his turn, and now we get to fire a trick shot. I love the fact that this skill places pinpoint target before it fires. That's pretty awesome. And then with Phoenix we use Mind Link once again on Taskmaster. Then we're out of stamina, so we have to recharge. This should be the last turn for the bottom enemy, and once again Taskmaster does protect, and he gains photographic reflexes. This means he gets blaster power, but unfortunately he didn't gain tactical insight, so he doesn't get an extra turn. With all this protecting, I was worried that Taskmaster would be killed, so I went ahead and used the Light Fantastic. And then I wasted a team healing elixir, and I really don't know why I used this. I guess I thought there was a third wave. But anyways, Phoenix is going to finish this battle with a Psy Blast, and that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you liked my first look at Taskmaster, and there's going to be plenty more videos of him to come. I would like to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, good luck, and take care.